We experienced 2 glitches in 2 different houses. Posted by u/Laura998. Hey everyone, newbie here, 22F. After reading your stories, it has become apparent to my boyfriend and I that we have experienced 2 glitches in the past 3 months. And I want to share them with you. So just for a bit of backstory, we're a young couple living in Australia. My partner and I have a 2-year-old son and a 3-month-old daughter together. I'm not an expert on the unknown, that's for sure, but since I'm a stay-at-home mom, I have been at home a lot of the time recently due to COVID, and my partner works away some weeks, so I've found myself reading a lot in my spare time. I've always been a big reader since a very young age and have always had a fascination with the unknown, educating myself on quantum theory and quantum physics, as well as other topics such as past lives, the paranormal, mythology and folklore, religions from all different cultures, spirituality as well as healing and psychic abilities, kundalini, manifestation, starseeds and empaths, and the rising of the Schumann resonance, the apparent fact that the Earth is ascending into the 5th dimension, and all that jazz. So in short, what I'm saying here is I like to think I'm pretty well educated on certain things. I have a very open mind and continue to learn every day. I'm just putting things into context so you know that I've considered many possibilities and just can't explain what's happened to us, rather than the idea that it was a glitch in our reality. Over the years, since a child, my intuition has grown immensely, and this will also come into the story later. So cutting this shorter and getting straight to the point, I live with both of my children and their father. We lived in a cute little 2-bedroom cottage-style house at the time before we upsized a few weeks later, and yes, we had a glitch happen in both houses. Anyway, the first occurrence was when in June, my daughter was a month old. It was a normal afternoon, about 4 p.m., and I was in my bedroom going through our daughter's cupboard looking for a pair of matching socks for her to wear after her bath. At this time my partner was getting her bath ready and our son was with him in the bathroom. Now, we all know what socks are like. We have all heard of the sock monster that steals your socks, which results in never finding them again. This isn't a strange occurrence, especially considering newborn baby socks are tiny and can go missing in an instant. But this wasn't the normal case of the missing sock, my friends. Oh no! This all happened very quickly, but I remember it very vividly because I got extremely frustrated and couldn't fathom how something could just vanish in front of my eyes like that. So, what happened was, I had both socks in one hand and I was closing the drawers with the other. Just for detail, I'll mention that there was a towel sitting on top of the towel boy cupboard, which was roughly the height of my waist. One of the cupboards got jammed and wouldn't close, so in a split second, I obviously decided to put the socks, that were in my hand, on top of the cupboard next to the towel so I could use both hands to get it shut. So I do so. But the strangest part is that before I placed them there, a tiny and very quick voice in my head said, "Don't put them there." I don't know if this was my intuition or what, but of course I was already putting the socks down at this point, so it was too late. Now, I'm not joking when I say they disappeared right in front of my face. I didn't even move my head to look away. I literally shifted my eyeball slightly to the left and one of the socks vanished. I seen it fade out of the corner of my eye, right then and there. I put my eyes focused back on where I put the socks, where only one sat. So I went on a wild goose chase for this sock. Best believe I searched for the sock high and low. I moved the towel, looked under it and shook it out. I emptied out all of the drawers wondering if I'd accidentally put one back. I even went as far as getting my partner to come in and help me move not only the cupboard but every item of furniture in that room to see if it had fallen behind or underneath something. But nothing. It was nowhere. It was just gone. I was talking to my partner about this for days. We were both so confused. But a few days later, when he was at work, I walked into the bedroom and to my surprise, clear as day, I see the missing sock in the middle of the room. It went missing in, about a meter in front of the cupboard. I can't even tell you how quick I rang my partner. It was incredible. They were a pair again, and now for the second instance, which happened in the first week of living in our new place. Literally a month or so after the first occurrence in the previous house. Our new place is a 2-story house with air conditioning and a lot more room, much more appropriate for a growing family, so we were really excited to get here. Anywho, we were organizing the new house and had a vase we wanted to put into one of the shelves downstairs in the kitchen. It's a shelf that's built into the wall and there's 3 on top of each other about 30 centimeters apart. My partner went to put the vase on the second shelf, but the vase was too tall. He tried many times, I seen him try, because I really wanted it there in that particular spot, so he obviously tried as hard as he could, but it was too tall by a few centimeters, so we said whatever and put it on the top shelf where it fit. Anyway, he was away at work again, and the vase was really annoying me with where it was placed. I was looking at it and just had an urge to move it, just for the simple fact that it would have looked so much nicer in that middle shelf sitting with our other decorative items. It just would have been more aesthetically pleasing, you know? Even though I remember seeing my boyfriend trying to put it there and seeing him fail, I tried anyway. So I went to move the vase, and voila! It fit perfectly in the middle shelf. So as I do, I rang my partner excitedly to let him know. And this one really blew him away, more so than the first one. Mainly because he really witnessed this one. It wasn't just me claiming that something went missing. For all he knew, I could have been hiding the sock to play a joke on him, which of course I wasn't, but this was an accusation of his when it happened, because obviously that would be logical. But this was big because it couldn't be explained. They're built into the wall, you cannot move them. The shelves shifted to leave just enough room for my vase to fit. It was incredible how he carried on about it when he got home that afternoon. He kept taking the vase in and out of the shelf and kept saying, "Wow. Something really happened here." Because that did not fit what happened? Was this a glitch? Did I manifest more space in that shelf? We didn't have any earthquakes or anything. The foundations of the house are solid and the other shelves are all still the same space apart, so it wasn't just the middle shelf that shifted, it was all three of them. And there you have it. Please tell me your thoughts. Thanks for reading thus far, and if you could in any way explain these rationally, please, be my guest. I'm always open to new ideas. Although I've explored every possibilities in my eyes, someone else may be able to provide us with a logical answer. Thanks all. Here's to 2020, it's been a crazy year for sure. My daughter and I both witnessed and talked to my husband in our house, while he was at work. Posted by u/worthless commotion. My husband recently took an overnight's job to help us out during COVID. He's only been there about 2 weeks and works evenings/overnights, 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. Last night was no different. He left home around 8:15 p.m. Our daughter, age 11, and I decided to make it a movie night. Around 11 p.m., I heard keys in my back door and the usual sounds my husband makes when he comes home. I creep out to the kitchen to make sure it was him, and it was. He told me he needed to grab his knee compression sleeve, walks down the hall, says hi to our daughter as he passes the living room, and goes upstairs. He came back down, gave me a kiss and left again. We finished our movie and went to bed. In the morning when he got home, I made a joking comment about him forgetting his knee sleeve. He was genuinely confused as I recalled the previous night. Our daughter confirmed everything I said and he still was acting confused. I pulled up our security motion camera on my phone to show him when he popped in quick. But there was no footage from the night before, or any other night, of him coming home after he's left for work. My daughter and I both heard him, saw him, and I touched him. But he was never home during that time. Nothing else out of the ordinary happened that night. We seriously have no idea what happened. Man who saved our lives vanished into thin air. Updated at the end to add a consistent question you all have. This happened last year and to this day I have no plausible explanation for where this man went or what he was. It's a hot day at the beginning of July and I'm driving my daughter and wife to my parents' house. I grew up in that house. It's gated and they had recently added a new entry system with security cameras that caught the whole thing go down. Will explain why I added this at the end. Now here's where it begins. I had a bad feeling in my gut before even hopping in the car but couldn't place it. Just a feeling of dread. I shook it off as best I could and we proceeded to load up our 3-year-old and head on our way. We lived about 7 to 8 miles from my parents' house and we made it to right outside the neighborhood when it happened. I'm about to turn left into the neighborhood when an older white guy with gray hair, wearing a white shirt and black shorts pops out of nowhere and is waving and yelling at me. I roll down the window and he is pointing at the front of my car. I look and all of a sudden there's smoke and flames coming out from under there. He's yelling at us to get out and turn the car off. To cut it short, after jumping in the back seat to get my daughter out due to the back 2 doors being unable to open, we got out safely and watched the car burn till the fire department showed up to put it out. Here's the crazy part. My parents' house overlooks the road and they could see the fire from their backyard, so they went on the balcony for the best view and realized it's my car. They watched the whole thing from their balcony. Their house has a full vantage point. They saw him too. Anywho, my wife is on the phone with 911 and I'm holding our daughter and thanking this stranger for getting our attention and asking how I didn't see it sooner. He stands there basically comforting us and telling us that the car is replaceable and our lives are not. Finally, after what felt like forever, the fire department rolls up. I looked away from this man just to make sure the sirens are indeed coming for us. When I looked back to thank him, he was gone. Nowhere to be seen. Just disappeared. The entire road is about 1 mile and leads to a dead end and you can see the entire thing from where this happened. There's a mountain on one side of the road and the neighborhood on the other. If he had gone through the gate, we would have seen him, as you can see both forks of the road inside the neighborhood through it. I never got his name. But he saved us from harm that day. My wife confirms he was there and that he seems to have disappeared. She confirms everything I saw. As do my parents. They asked who the man was when we finally came up to the house. They think he's our guardian angel because he disappeared. I couldn't believe he just disappeared and thought maybe with all the commotion he just snuck away. So we contacted the security company that runs the cameras at the gate. They confirmed that they did have a vantage point of the whole incident. They sent it to my dad and the man was not on the video. You see me, my daughter, my wife. But not the man. What in the heck? In case y'all are wondering, the car caught on fire due to a recall that they failed to notify us about, despite the recall coming out in February. This happened in July. Edit, I'm not here to debate my experience. It was my experience. And I finally decided to share it. Believe it if you want. Don't believe it if you don't want. The video shows everything as I described it minus the man. From an outside perspective of someone who hadn't seen or known there was a man there, it could be seen as us just yelling at each other. There was a point where you see me looking around like I'm looking for something, which was when he disappeared. This happened a year ago, so I'll reach out to my dad for a copy. Never thought it would be this big of a deal for you all. Super exciting. Also, I'm a female. Anybody know how to post videos to here? I've never posted photos or videos on a Reddit before.
Thanks for watching. Please do like, share, comment and subscribe for more videos.